Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAQUADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Every well, peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom and a bubble ball. Back here with another lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord's words of the video is edifying. And the title of this lesson is Keeping the Faith Through the Fire, man. All right. And this is very important because the scriptures tell you what. Let's go to it. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. Chapter 2 and verse 4, it says, "Behold, his soul," which is talking about Esau, Edom, "which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." All right, the just is going to live by his faith, man. All right, so the faith that we have in these last days, man, is what's going to help us keep us stable in these times, man. All right, why? Because ultimately we had faith in YAHAWASHI. All right, so that's what kept us stable. Scripture say, "Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." But in order for you to obtain that wisdom, you have to have the fear of the Lord. And the fear of the Lord and faith of the Lord go hand in hand. Okay, because honestly, fear is technically faith in a way. Because, for instance, if someone points a gun at you and says, "I'm going to shoot you," all right, if you don't believe, if you don't have faith that that threat is valid, all right, you're not going to be worried about them putting a gun to your face. So it's the same thing with the fear of the Lord. If you don't have fear of the Lord, if you don't have that faith that the Lord's threat is valid, then you're not going to fear him ultimately, And let me get this precept. This is Matthew 7 and verse 24. It says, "Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock." All right, so if you follow after the instructions of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, it's going to be like you built your house upon a rock-solid foundation. All right, and why is that important? Verse 25, "And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock." All right, so when the tribulation comes, you're going to be stable, all right? Going back to Isaiah 33 and 6, it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." All right, so when the tribulation comes, the men of the Lord are going to be stable. Okay, yeah, it's going to be a time of trouble like such as never since the face of the world, but the men of the Lord are going to be ahead of the curve in that day because first and foremost, they have YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI on their side, and also they have faith in the Lord, man. Okay, and faith truly does move mountains, man. All right, and you really only need faith the grain of a mustard seed. All right, and faith, the scripture say, "The just shall live by his faith," man. All right, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. So that faith is going to be very, very important in that day, man. All right. This is Luke chapter 22, starting at verse 28. It says, "Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel." So yeah, we've been going through the struggle with YAHAWASHI. All right, we've been going through them temptations. We've been catching hell, going through the fire. All right, and if we make it out, Lord willing, like Scripture say, "He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved." Okay, we're gonna be appointed that table, man. We're gonna be in the seat of rulership. All right, verse 31. "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not." All right. "And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." So that's the thing. Satan is coming down hard in these last days, man. All right. Trying to get brothers to fall out. Okay. Trying to get brothers to doubt. Trying to get brothers to believe the Lord is not dealing with them, so on and so forth. But it all comes down to having that faith, man. You got to believe the Lord. You have to wait upon the Lord, believe the Lord. Okay, wait upon his mercy, go not aside lest he fall, like it tells you in Sirach. I'll get that next, Lord willing. And so the point being, man, because that faith is what's going to keep you in the fold. All right, if you lose faith in YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, let me get that real quick. All right, you're none of the Lord's, man. All right, because the scriptures tell you in Revelation 21 and verse 7, it says, "He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving," okay, so fearful and unbelieving meaning that you fear something other than YAHAWASHI and unbelieving, and you're unbelieving. So ultimately, you're faithless and you're faint-hearted. You have a weak mind and you lack faith, okay, which is an effeminate trait. All right. So point being, what is it? What happens to men like that? It says, and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death, man. So you dudes who lack faith, Lord willing, we keep the faith all the way into the end. All right, you will be caught up in that lake of fire, man. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 2, starting at verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. And this takes faith, man. All right, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And what does it mean to cleave unto the Lord? Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 12. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. All right. It says a point on that right there. And as you can read, the next scripture says what? Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, man. All right. You don't want the Lord to give you a bugged out mind, man. And ultimately, faith, like we just read earlier, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that times, man. All right. So you don't want to have that plague of the heart, especially during the times of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. Because you're not going to be stable. All right. And it's going to be some rocky times. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 2 and 3. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. And that ultimately takes faith, man. That takes faith and vision to be able to stay cheerful in hard times, man. All right, because faith, because you believe that the Lord is going to show out on your behalf, and vision because, you know, you have that hope and that expectation that there will be better days, man. All right, because there will be, you know, but you have to have that faith, man. All right, that's ultimately what Satan wants, to get us out the faith. He wants to sift us out of the faith. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him, going into having that faith, having faith through the fire. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. That's that patience, man. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Going back to faith, man. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. So that's what we're supposed to be hoping for, man. All right. You know, keeping a positive mindset, speaking to myself first and foremost, you know, practicing gratitude. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right, man. Okay. Look at the generations of old. All right. One moment, please. One moment, please. When you look at the generations of old, you look at our forefathers, you see how our forefathers trusted in the Lord. All right. Does not the scripture say, behold, we count them happy? Let me get there real quick. It's James 5 and starting at verse 10. It says, take my brethren, the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. All right, because that's what's going to happen. You might go through afflictions. You go through, you know, you have to suffer afflictions and so on and so forth, but it takes patience, man. All right. You got to cleave unto the Lord. It says, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy, man. That's right. The Lord will smite you, but he'll also bind you up. All right. But you have to have faith in that. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 10, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy and long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. All right. Exactly. Why? Because you're double minded, you know, and you have a fearful heart and faint hands, meaning you're weak minded too, man. All right. You don't trust in YAHAWASHI. The scriptures say perfect love casteth out fear, man. If your love is perfect in the Lord, you wouldn't be fearing things of the flesh, because that wisdom and that knowledge will keep you stable, man. And you'll understand that the Lord is in control. All right. It says, woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Okay. So in them times of trouble, you can't be faint hearted, man. You have to believe in the Lord in order for you to be defended. Verse 14, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. And a part of keeping his ways is keeping the faith. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. All right. Yeah, because if you love the Lord, you'll keep his ways, as we just read. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. All right. And that's the thing. You got to prepare your mind, man. All right. Prepare your mind. Get your mind right. Okay. It says, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. And that's all in the trust in the Lord, man. Okay. So let me get another one real quick. And the scriptures say, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing of the word of the Most High. Okay. So how does that ultimately come? By being in these scriptures, man. All right. This is 2 Maccabees 15 and verse 7. It says, but Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen. So it said Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. Same thing with us in these times, man. We have to have that same spirit. Speaking to myself first and foremost. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty, and so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore, he made them more cheerful. And so that's the point of that right there. Okay, you trusting in the Lord, man. Okay. Looking at the generations of old, it says, and when he had stirred up their minds, he gave them charge, showing them therewithal the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oaths. Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with defensive shields and spears, as with comfortable and good words, which is this word, the scriptures. And besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed. And that's the thing, brothers have dreams too. Okay, also you have the scriptures, because a lot of those prophecies were dreams and visions. It says, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. Okay, so that's the point of that right there. And then it goes into the dream. All right. But nevertheless, the point being, man, keeping that faith, man. All right. And looking at the generations of old, using the scriptures as wisdom and knowledge. Like the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. So in the times of trouble, you could think back on the times where the Lord helped our forefathers. Okay. And you can also think back on the times when the Lord has helped you, in the past, man. And that can all keep you, grounded and reassured, if you will, man. These are stuff that can help you and be building blocks to your faith in these last days, man. All right, because this is all key for these upcoming times that we're coming into. We have to prepare our minds, because it's a spiritual war out here, okay? But it's gonna be, a physical too, okay? It's gonna be like war outside, man, during these times of Jacob's trouble, man. All right, the scriptures talk about how men shall be invading one another, with swords in their hands, man. This is what's coming, man. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. It's going to be anarchy out here, man. Of course, their actions shall stand in their power. It's going to be a free-for-all. People going to be doing whatever the hell they see fit in that day, man. All right. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So if grown men are going to be afraid out here, man, how much more you women, man? You prideful ass women. All right. But nevertheless, staying on topic, verse 19, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So this is what's coming, man. So in order for us to survive all this, ultimately it's the will of YAHAWASHI first and foremost, but we also have to have our minds right, man. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability at times. And it all comes through that faith in the Lord, man. And matter of fact, let's go ahead and close off with that. Okay, because what does it tell you in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, All right, second Ezra 9, starting at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's what we're doing. We're measuring the time diligently by way of watching for the prophecies. Okay? And we understand that we're at the end via the prophecies. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which is exactly what we're seeing right now, present day, it says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. It says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape what, man? All right, escape these troublesome times that we're coming into. It says, by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So that faith, man, like Yahawashi said, thy faith have made thee whole. You need the faith in your works in order to escape these times, man. And you need to have faith in YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, the one and only true power, man. All right. So, Lord's will, this video is edifying. Call HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom and a Baba Ball.